Hi, everyone, and welcome to the May 2017 newsletter. My name is Marion Marchetto, author of the Bridgewater Chronicles. And over here behind my left shoulder, you see my #1 editor. That's Miss Taffy Jane. And she's here joining us today because that's what she wants to do. So the first thing we want to ask you is, where has the month of April gone? It seems like this month has just flown by, and I have no idea where the time has gone. Oh, and here, look, I'm being joined by Miss Taffy Jane, who is right in front of my camera. I'm not sure if you can see her little tail here, but there she is. Okay, good girl, Taffy. Um, I have some goals that I'd like to share with you for this year, and there are four of them. The first one we're going to talk about is the research and writing The Crystal Mermaid, which is my newest work in progress. I'm hoping that some of the research, which is going well, by the way, will be done uh, will be done shortly, and we can get back to writing the actual book. Um, Also on my to-do list this year is to bring down the number of books in my to-read pile. At this point, I have over 300 of them, and I'm working my way through them, but it's going to take a little bit longer than I anticipated, since some have been sitting in that pile for a couple of years or longer. And I'm still accepting new books for review, so any of you authors out there who are looking for reviews of your work, new authors, indie authors especially, please contact me through my website or through my Facebook page and let me know what you've got. And if it falls into the realm of what I'm looking for, then I'd be happy to read your work. And let's see, as for reviewing some books this month, I'm going to share with you some really quality books that I have come across. The first one I'd like to share with you is called A Bridge Across the Ocean by Susan Meisner. This is a wonderful, wonderful book, and it's set between two eras, the present and World War II. And this is the story of three European war brides who come to America on the RMS Queen Mary, and of the modern day woman who reconnects all three. The first one, her name is Annalise, is a German girl living near the Belgian border. Then we have Simone, who lives with her father and brother in France, and unbeknownst to her, they are part of the French resistance. And at the end of the war, both Annalise and Simone find themselves on the Queen Mary, coming to America to be with their soldier husbands. And there they meet a third girl named Phoebe, who's a British lass with a young babe. And the three young women find themselves sharing a cabin during the crossing, but secrets don't always remain secrets, as these three soon learn. They'll confide in each other and share their experiences. And they're brought together in the end by a young woman living in California called Brett Caslake, who lives in the present time. And she's one of a long line of women in her family who has the sight, the ability to see and contact those who've passed, but remain on this plane for some reason, unfinished business, most likely. And Brett believes that there's a spirit on board the Queen Mary who is trying to contact her, and she believes that spirit belongs to Annalise, who was said to have jumped overboard rather than be sent back to an evil husband. But is it the spirit of Annalise, we wonder? Or is it someone else in need of assistance? The answer is going to surprise you. And then will Brett, the current day young lady, discover an answer to her own question in helping the spirit find her way. This book took me completely by surprise. I wasn't prepared for the depths of emotion exhibited by the characters, details of World War II life, the Queen Mary, life for the war brides, and an emotional roller coaster of stories. All become interwoven in this tapestry, and they're all compelling. If you like World War II stories, the occult, or the paranormal, this book is definitely for you. I gave it 5 stars. Another book by a relatively new author. It's called, okay, Taffy, want to put your little butt down? Thank you. It's called The Lucky Hat Mine, and it's by an author called J.V.L. Bell, and she is a fantastic new author. She's in Colorado, living in Colorado, and it's if you want to know what this is about, it's a quirky Wild West mystery. It's great for the guys and the gals. Has a lot of cowboy antics in it. Gold rush, gold mining, a little bit of romance woven in. Definitely a murder mystery. And as I wrote in my review of it, let's see. From our heroine Millie to the likable Mr. Shoemate the blacksmith, who's one of her suitors, to the Shakespeare quoting miner, and yet another suitor who aims to cook her goat, right to the swarthily handsome Dominic, who will leave you guessing as to his real intentions, you'll find yourself drawn back into the 1860s and the prospect of finding gold. And find it you will in the pages of this novel. So enjoy it. It's a fun read, and I think you won't be sorry that you picked this one up. The next one I read is a Kindle book, and I don't have a cover to show you, but it is an excellent book. And it's called From Sand and Ash by Amy Harmon. And what I'd like to do for you is read my review. It's relatively short, and I think it'll give you a good perspective as to what this book is about. Okay, so I wrote, From Sand and Ash is by far the best book I've read this year. Taking a different view of the German persecution of Jews during World War II, the reader is brought back to Italy in 1943, where we meet Eva Roselli, a Jew, and Angelo Bianco, an American-born boy, who was sent to live with the Rosellis in Florence, Italy. Angelo becomes a priest, who in the end tries to hide Eva from the Nazi occupation of Italy. But has Angelo ever gotten over his love for Eva? To that end, we ask, in the end, will love win? Love of Eva or love of God or both? Can Father Angelo live with his choice? Will Eva eventually be discovered by Germans? And will this leave Angelo wondering if he could have done more? So From Sand and Ash is a totally new perspective on World War II for me. The story is seamlessly woven through almost nonstop action, and just when you think it's safe for Eva and Angelo, a vile twist occurs in their lives. Life and death, sacrifice and prayer, hope and despair, everything is contained within the pages of this story. Don't miss this one. I highly, highly recommend it, and I gave it 5 stars. It is also available in print edition, and again, it falls under historical romance, historical fiction. Okay, now this one that I'm going to show you, it's called Overseas, and it is an excellent book by Beatrice Williams. I believe this was the first book that she's written. Beatrice Williams is a Connecticut author, not a native of Connecticut, but she does live there now with her family. I'm not sure where, so don't go looking for her in the phone book. But this book I have not yet finished my review on. However, I could not put it down. It is definitely time travel, historical romance. It's got a perspective that you just won't believe. It goes between 1916 and World War I, which is very different for me. I'm used to reading World War II stories, and the current day. Please don't miss this one. Watch for my review. It is definitely 5 stars, I can tell you that much. I just want to make sure the review captures the story. And last but not least, I have started another book that I'm currently reading. And this is by a Swedish author, Sweden, I was correct, Sweden. It's called A Man Called Of by Fredrik Backman. It has been touted as hysterically funny. It's the story of a very opinionated, curmudgeon-like older man who has just been released from his job of 33 years. And he sees the world through not rose-colored glasses, but let's say charcoal-colored glasses. Both my husband and I are in the process of listening to this book as we read it aloud, and we are enjoying it immensely. I can tell you at this point, it looks like another 5-star review. However, it could change, but who knows? So stay tuned for this one. In the meantime, pick it up. You won't be sorry. Okay, so much for the books. And just one last item of business to talk to you about. And I encourage you to join me again on May 24th on my Facebook page, where I'll be doing a live read along from Stairway to My Heart. I ask that if you have any questions pertaining to my writing, my books, anything literary, the publishing field, please feel free to submit them to me through my website, or if you have my email, some of you do, or on my Facebook page, and I'll be sure to answer those questions. Again, it's May 24. That's a Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I look forward to reading with you and chatting with you, and I do hope you'll join us. This time, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to pull this off. The first 2 times I was still suffering from the flu and from a very bad respiratory infection, so let's hope we can get this one going. And so again, from myself and from my first editor here, Taffy, I wish you all a happy May, a happy Mother's Day, whatever else you may be celebrating this month, and join me again May 24th. Thanks and happy reading, everyone.